WIFO FM Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio 105.5 FM. It is now time for the world famous Butch and Bob Show here on WIFO, and is brought to you by First Southern Bank, Van's Barbecue, Murphy Builder Supply, and O'Quinn & Associates.
Hi, I'm Mandy Yeomans.
And I'm Raymond Brown with First Southern Bank. As your locally owned community bank, we're here to help our community grow. Our customers are why we are here. You can tell we want your business.
We offer all types of deposit products, personal and business. We have fast, efficient service, and yes, we have online banking too. I'm sure we have an account to fit your needs. Stop by or call us at 912-588-1010 and see how First Southern Bank can help you.
We're FDIC Equal Housing Lender.
When it comes to barbecue, Van's Barbecue in Jesup is the place to be. A small family-owned business located at 1876 on the Savannah Highway. Van's Barbecue has lunch and dinner special. Stop by or call to make an order. The number to call, 427-3358. Van's Barbecue's new manager is Sarah Van. Van's Barbecue offers potato salad, coleslaw, baked beans, and don't forget their delicious mac and cheese. Also, check out their shrimp plates, the best in town. Yes, when it comes to barbecue, head to Van's Barbecue, locally owned and operated. Stop by and tell them the Big Dog sent you. Once again, the number to order, 427-3358.
Since 1946, Murphy's Builder Supply has been serving the folks of Jesup, Wayne, and surrounding counties with quality products and knowledgeable service. Matter of fact, they feel they sell service first to make sure you get exactly what you need for your home improvement projects. And with each employee at Murphy's being there for 10 years or more, you know you're talking with someone with the experience to help you with building supplies, tools, paint, and all the things you need from a full-service hardware store. The best choice in home improvement is Murphy's Builder Supply, 156 Northeast Broad Street, Jesup.
Do you know why most people don't invest outside work or at all? Because they don't know where to start and they don't know who to talk with. If this is you, give me a call. Hi, this is Sean O'Quinn. I can help set up a plan no matter where you are in life to get you on a suitable path to a sound financial future. Give me a call, Sean O'Quinn, at 912-385-1000 or stop by the office at 212 South 1st Street right here in Jesup. That number again is 912-385-1000.
The following is an exclusive presentation of Jesup Broadcasting, the sports leader in Southeast Georgia.
The world famous Butch and Bob Show.
World famous Butch and Bob Show right here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup, Big Dog Country Radio. It is 8 o'clock. Good morning, Bob. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How you doing?
Doing good. Did you survive golf on Saturday?
I did.
You did good?
We didn't get it all in. It rained.
It rained, yeah.
The last couple holes and lightning. That lightning strikes those golfers get off that golf course.
Oh, yeah. You know, we'd be holding up steel rods, aluminum rods, titanium rods, whatever they're made out of these things, or metal. You don't want to be holding them up in the air with lightning striking around. Right. And the last thing you want to do is go get up under a tree somewhere because, it usually strikes the highest point, and trees are a little higher than you are, and sometimes that'll happen. Have you ever seen that before on a golf course, rain out there, and there's lightning, and a bunch of golfers are huddled up under a tree somewhere? That's not a good thing to be. No, not a good thing. Not a good thing, Bob. Best thing to do is
head to the clubhouse.
Head to the clubhouse.
That's right.
Put that thing in overdrive and head to the clubhouse and get out of that lightning. Rain's not too bad. You can play in the rain. Oh, there's our guest. All right, we're going to be back with our guest here on the world famous Butch and Bob Show in just a moment.
This is George Moxley with Moxley Ministries, and I want to tell you about a great event that's coming to Wayne County High School in Jesup, Georgia, August the 11th. The doors will open at 6. The service will begin at 7. We have a night of worship with Jason Crabb. Jason is a 2-time Grammy Award winner. He's won the Dove Award many, many years. He is simply amazing. You want to bring your family, bring your friends, get your church group, get your youth group, bring your neighbor. It is going to be amazing. Kids 12 and under are free. The tickets are $25. My grandson Braden's going to tell you where to find the tickets here in Jesup, Georgia.
You can buy tickets at Mine and Yours, David's Clothing, Sheffield's, Amazing Grace Christian Bookstore, or they are available online on our website, moxleyministries.com, and follow the instructions at the top of the page.
Good morning, mercy. You call me worthy.
Big Dog Country Radio, WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup. And it is now time for our special guest here on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show. Garland Favorito is on the air with us, and Bob, just take it away.
Okay, first of all, appreciate you being on the show. Tell us, first of all, a little bit about yourself and about your organization.
Hey, well, good morning, Butch and Bob. Great to be with you. Thank you for having me on WIFO. We have an organization that we have established back in 2006, and it's for election integrity. And what we mainly want to focus on is making sure that your vote is counted correctly and no other votes are counted that are illegal. So we just have honest election results, and we're very much concerned about the existing computer equipment. There's a lot of issues with that. But I got into this. I'm an IT guy, career IT guy, and now I'm retired and do this full time as a volunteer. But I've spent probably about 40 years in information technology, and realized that there was a bunch of problems with these machines dating all the way back to 2002. Their unverifiability to the voter, and you can't really audit them properly, and they don't even recount or erase. Just reprint previous unverifiable results. So we've been trying to improve the voting methods in Georgia and make it more of an honest and transparent elections for the Georgia voters. And we've been doing this for now. Really, actually, I've been in it for 20 years and 15 years with the organization. We founded back in 2006.
Again, Garland Favorito, you got a special event coming up here in Wayne County on Saturday, August 12th. You're going to be speaking at the Altamont Steak and Seafood, so tell us a little bit about that.
Yeah, well, we're going to cover a lot of things since we're going to be down there, and I'm really excited to be back again. I had a great trip probably, I guess it was about 6 months or so ago, and we're going to be talking about the vulnerabilities in that were exposed by the Haldeman report of our existing machines, and the security analysis that Professor Haldeman did, and he's backed by a lot of experts. And so the security issues with the machine. We'll talk about the legality issues that the system really has been declared illegal by the United States District Court. And then there's issues where the system has produced the wrong results and even declared the wrong winners last year. So a lot of issues. We'll talk about that. We'll talk about what we need to do legislatively to solve these problems, and also how the local Wayne County residents can appeal to their Board of Elections and the county commissioners to try to make a change, because they do have authority, according to law, to conduct their own elections. And we'll explain that, all the legal aspects of that as well. So real excited to be down there, plus getting some great seafood down there too.
Garland, where are you from? Where are you living?
Well, I live in Roswell area, up in kind of north of Atlanta,
okay.
And so that's really a home base. I've been here for a long time, 40 years. I actually grew up in Virginia, but that was ancient history now. But I've been in Georgia for probably about 40 years or so. Okay,
and it said that you're co-founder of Voter GA. Who were the other folks that were involved with the beginning of Voter GA, whatever year that was?
Yeah, that was back in 2006, and that was Ricardo Davis is my co-founder. We kind of founded it together, but Ricardo has so many other things that he does. In addition to working full-time, he is the chair of the Georgia Constitution Party, and he's also the head of Georgia Right to Life right now. So his plate is full. So I'm pretty much doing this, the Voter GA stuff on my own. But we do have we have a weekly call that where everybody can get information. Ricardo leads that, and then just ironically, about 1 year ago, I got married, and my wife Tamara is now really involved, deeply involved in the organization, trying to help out in many, many different ways. So we actually just celebrated our first anniversary last night. So,
so
that's been a blessing as well.
Congratulations. Everybody made me think that we started worrying about this integrity and in the vote counting back during when Trump ran for re-election, but y'all been doing this a lot longer than that. You apparently as an IT guy have seen problems with computer voting many years ago. Is that correct? Is that the reason why you started this, or is there other reasons?
Exactly. So the old machines were equally as bad, maybe even worse than the current ones. They implemented the statewide unverifiable electronic voting all the way back in 2002. And what's ironical about that, originally it was the Democrats who felt that they were cheated in the 2002 gubernatorial and Senate races. And we had most of our members in the beginning were Democrats. We gradually brought in, of course, the Libertarians were involved, and then the grassroots Republicans who felt they were cheated by the establishment. They started to join up, and then when the Trump 2020 election happened, and both the highly questionable Senate race and the presidential race here in Georgia, that even the Judiciary Subcommittee of the General Assembly said that it should have never been certified. That's when we've gotten heavy Republican involvement as well. So there's some general agreement. There's a lack of distrust of the voting system really across the political spectrum right now. So hopefully we're trying to take advantage of it so that we can do something about it.
Yeah, and it seems like whoever loses is the one that's doing the complaining. That's just the way it's human nature there. But voting last year, we had you voted electronically, and then you got a paper printout. So there's a paper trail that goes with the electronic voting. Has that helped, or you still got big concerns there?
Well, it might have helped if they had not have put a QR code on the. So one of the problems with the system is that the votes are accumulated out of a QR code, and you and I can't read what's in the code. It's unverifiable voter. We told the Secretary of State not to buy that type of equipment, even before he became Secretary of State when he was running as a candidate, and then so that's part of the reason. In fact, it is the reason that the U.S. District Court declared the system illegal back before the 2020 election, back in October. They didn't have time to fix it, but she did say that it was violating two Georgia statutes. So the election was conducted on a system that the U.S. District Court felt was in violation of two Georgia laws.
Garland Favorito is our special guest here on the world-famous Butch and Bob Show. He's co-founder of Voter GA, Voters Organized for Trusted Election Results in Georgia. Well, you've talked about the problems there, Garland. How do we fix it? How do we become secure to make sure that our votes are counted correctly?
Well, there's several ways we can do that. Because basically the Secretary of State is not going to do anything. He's made that pretty clear. He's going to continue with the system. So there are several alternatives that we have. One is the legislature. We have we have some legislation that's already been introduced, half a dozen different bills that would fix a lot of these problems. And we need to tweak those and pass them really before this year. And we're asking everybody to contact their legislatures and try to get a special session here in the fall to try to correct these problems, make a serious attempt to correct them and stop pretending that they don't exist. The other possibility is that we can have the counties, like for example, the Wayne County residents can approach their county boards of elections and the county commissioners and try to get them to make a change in the system. We don't really have to use the ballot marking devices and the scanners, and they cost a lot of money. There's a lot of cost to the counties there in maintenance, testing, licensing, upgrade, the logistics, storage, all sorts of things that cost the county way more money than they need to spend to conduct an election. So it's actually a cost savings and an improvement to the voter to go to something like a hand-marked paper ballots, hand-counted in public in the precincts, and with public ballots. Those kinds of things would actually, I think, both improve the voting system and it would save the county some money.
Do you feel there's actually people who go in there after the results are in and make changes, or what are we looking at here? People who are not being totally honest with the counting, with the processing. What are our concerns? We want to make sure that our votes are counted correctly.
Well, I think one of the biggest concerns is that the system is how the system is prepped. The Secretary of State's office has a single election server, a central server that preps all of the elections for all the counties. And so they download software each time to the counties, and the counties have no way of knowing whether or not that software has a virus of any kind or any kind of malware of any kind. They don't have any means to detect that. And so the county server, the central server, we found was exposed to the internet back in 2019. I think it was 17 actually, and that was never taken care of. So, what happened there was they actually wiped the servers before they tried to mitigate the risk. So a white hat hacker had gone in and informed the Center for Election Systems that their server was wide open and exposed to the internet. 6 months later, they hadn't closed the breach, and we found out that breach or that vulnerability had been there for years. So the concern is really what we call a single point of attack. And if you can attack and compromise the Secretary of State server, you can compromise the county's servers and their voting machines without the county ever even knowing. It's completely undetectable.
Well, I know when I voted this past time, I looked at my printout, that you got from the voting machine to make sure that what was printed out was what I actually did electronically, and it was the same. Are you trying to say there's certain situations where folks' printouts may not be the same that's actually the votes that are sent into Atlanta, or what?
Well, that's exactly right, because the vote that's accumulated is in the QR code. And Dr. Haldeman in his report has explained that the QR code can be altered. So to show something different than what you as the voter saw on your ballot. So the text in the QR code, you don't have any way of knowing that what's in the QR code is the same as what you're seeing on the ballot. And then that QR code is what it accumulates the votes. The votes are actually in there that are accumulated. So that's your real choices.
Okay.
So that's been one of the major issues with this voting system.
Now, you're being invited down here to Jesup on Saturday, August 12th by the South Georgia Republican Assembly, which are folks from Appling, Bacon, Coffee, Jeff Davis, Pierce, Ware, and Wayne counties. And they invited you to come down here so folks can actually come and hear you speak and ask questions to you one-on-one on Saturday, August 12th at Omaha Steak and Seafood in Jesup. Do you have a Q&A period at the end of your talk?
Absolutely, every time, and typically so many people ask so many good questions. So we have an unlimited Q&A period. Typically it goes to half an hour. Sometimes it's even gone more. But I'm there to answer all the questions that people have so that they can be more effective in dealing with their local election officials there in the surrounding South Georgia counties there.
Do we need to get to the point one day where election results are not being able to be sent via internet? Is that the problem? If you get something to an internet, somebody can hack it? Well, what do we do?
Well, right, and see, even though the machines, the voting system, the ballot marking device itself may not be connected to the internet on election day. Well, the problem is that it was prepped from a server that was connected to the internet, and that's what they never tell you. So, that's why we're more concerned that it could be compromised from the preparation stage than later. But yeah, I think that would probably be the best solution, is to move to something where it's less. We really need less computerization in the system, and more ways to establish trust. And that might sound strange from a computer IT guy, but it's really the IT people who are speaking up and saying, no, this is too vulnerable. People like Dr. Haldeman is just one of many. There's been 30 other experts that have backed his report, and we've been around, for decades. So yeah, I think that's the solution, is to get something that's more verifiable for the voter and more auditable and more recount capable.
Okay, if folks want to find out more about your organization, they can go to voterga.org, voterga.org. Garland Favorito, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly, will be a guest speaker at Omaha Steak and Seafood in Jesup on Saturday, August 12th at 11 a.m. And you being an IT guy, I guess you're a little more aware, a lot more than Bob and I are, because we're not tech-oriented, on how there can be problems involved with this type of voting that we've been going on for the last many years, right?
Exactly. It's the IT guys who have been leading this charge for more honest and transparent elections, because we spend our careers in the business, and we know how easily it is for a computer to print the incorrect results. And a lot of the elections officials just take for granted that can't happen, but they don't have the technological background to realize how easy it could be for the system to be printing fraudulent results without their knowledge and without being able to be detected.
Bob and I have kidded around before on the show when this issue is brought up ever so often, that we just need to go back to the big old steel boxes that we walk into and close the curtain and click the things down there, and it's all printed out on a big sheet. I know that'll never happen, but you didn't have to worry about anybody hacking those, I guarantee you.
Well, exactly. It's hand-marked paper ballots, hand-counted at the precincts in public. The key word being public there, and that way, I think that you have more trustworthy results. They can even be the counting process can even be video recorded, and so that there's no cheating, and that way we know that the results are accurate.
Okay, Bob.
Well, we have a favorite saying here on the Butch and Bob Show. It's always about the money, and the machines are the most cost of the money. The state gave the counties the machines. Are you saying there's a better machine out there that we could use other than the one they're using right now?
Well, there are better machines that don't have the QR-coded voting system, but the real problem is that most electronic devices, almost everything, can be hacked pretty easily, and there's a lot of incentive to hack them, because whoever wins elections gains a lot of power. So I think there's a need to really have a different solution.
Okay. Well, folks can find out more about your organization, voterga.org. They can hear you speak, ask you questions coming up on Saturday, August 12th at 11 a.m. at Omaha Steak and Seafood on North 1st Street in Jesup. People can RSVP by text message to Pat at 912-286-7255. That's RSVP by text message to Pat at 912-286-7255. And I'm sure there's other ways of finding out more about it, but it's the South Georgia Republican Assembly, members from Appling, Bacon, Coffee, Jeff Davis, Pierce, Ware, and Wayne counties that have invited you to speak on Saturday, August 12th at Omaha Steak and Seafood. And I'm sure that folks are going to look forward to hearing you speak and helping and get answers from you on what we can do when we leave that voting booth, and at the end of the day, that we know that our votes are accurately counted, right?
Exactly. That's the bottom line, and I'm honored to be there as a speaker, and honored to be on the show today. Y'all have really asked some great questions and explained it to the listening audience so well. So thank you, Butch and Bob, for doing that.
Okay, Bob, any other comments for Garland?
No, just appreciate you being on the show, and look forward to the event on Saturday, August 12th.
Great. Thank you. Look forward to seeing you.
All right, take care, okay? All right, bye-bye.
All right, Garland Favorito, he's co-founder of voterga.org, a voter organization trusted for, it says, voters organized for trusted election results in Georgia, protecting the legal vote for all Georgians. Will be in Jesup on Saturday, August 12th at 11 a.m. at Omaha Steak and Seafood. It's a Dutch treat meal, the buffet, and then he will speak, and then you can ask him questions after he speaks there on Saturday, August 12th. Okay. I didn't even know this organization existed, Bob.
You hit the nail on the head. We just need to go back to those old machines. We need the results in 10 minutes as well. Saved a lot of time. Just open up the machine and roll it out. And there it was. The winner is. I was gone in 5 minutes. Now it takes hours. So I'm all for going for the old machine.
Well, the machines you vote on are not hooked to the internet at that time, but they've been programmed by IT guys when you vote. And when the results are sent into Atlanta, that's done by internet. And then the results are stored on the internet. So, like he said, maybe we just ought to go back to the paper ballots and stuff like that. But I'm sure that if you go to this event on Saturday, August 12th at Omaha Steak and Seafood in Jesup, you can find out more about that. I know that it was improved this past year. It was definitely improved this past year. I think people felt more secure about their votes. It was easier to vote and more trusted votes. And then I was like I did when I voted and got my printout. I looked at it to make sure it's what I had on there. But he said that what my printout is and what
is in the computer may not be the same thing.
Be the same.
Right, yeah.
You know?
The sad thing, like I said, when you talk about computers, like I said, you got those computer geeks out there can hack anything, so you just don't know. So,
yeah. And
people get hacked all the time.
You even get the Department of Defense that gets hacked into every so often. They got the best minds in the world protecting their stuff. So you just... I can understand how people. It's always the people who lose, whether it's Republicans or Democrats, whatever. They're the ones that are they're upset. Like to begin with, he said it was the Democrats who were behind all this. It's cheating type stuff with the internet and the computer voting, and now it seems to be more of the Republicans. And it'll be interesting to see how all this turns out as time goes by. As him an IT guy, he knows that. He knows the computers inside out, forwards and backwards. That's what he did for a living. You and me, we're novices. we're at the kindergarten level when it comes to IT stuff. Preschool probably. And so you just want to make sure we all, as voters, want to make sure that when our ballots are cast, that it's done ethically, honestly, morally, and then who we voted for gets counted who we voted for.
All right.
No extras thrown in, no voters changed and stuff like that. So there's some horror stories out there, and it'll be interesting to see how this turns out as time goes by, as Voter GA still works with the state legislature and Secretary of State to try to improve the accuracy of the voting here in the state of Georgia. All right, Bob, talk about the two winners, the two top place winners in the British Open and the Open this weekend.
Brian Harmon, UJ graduate, Savannah native, won the Open, won by a large margin, 6 strokes. Steven Straka finished tied for second with several other golfers, but he's also a UGA graduate. So dogs were 1 and 2 out there at the British or the Open.
Yeah, we had the Georgia Tech guy winning on Friday, and
the key was to stay out of the bunkers.
Those are huge bunkers.
Yeah, in the bunkers.
Sometimes you can't even see the guy down there. Where's the top of his head?
The sad thing is most of the time they couldn't advance the ball. They had to kick it. They had to hit backwards.
Backwards because they have that wall in front of them.
Wow.
Those bunkers are something else. Like I said, it's just amazing, those bunkers there when you go to one. And each one of the Opens seem to be like that over there. The British Open.
Entertaining to watch, that's for sure.
It is entertaining.
But it's tough, but like they said, that's every golf fan has the key. Stay out of the bunker. Don't get in the bunker.
You look at the green and all these huge bunkers, and it's not that white sand that we have here in America. It's a little darker sand, I
was watching after Saturday's round, all those golfers, they're talking how their frustration, you're 200-something yards out, you hit what you think's a good shot, and it just rolls, and then all of a sudden it rolls in the bunker, and then you're just
no. I got to step ladder to get down there.
So much for that good shot. So, but congrats to Brian Hartness. He's been on the tour a long time. First major win. So
congratulations,
golfer.
Yeah.
Good story.
2 UGA graduates atop, and then at the end of Thursday, you had a Georgia Tech graduate who led going into Friday. So speaks well for the state of Georgia to have a lot of good players up there at the top of the leaderboard there at the British Open.
Go Dogs. SEC Media Days, they say Georgia's going to roll to the SEC title this year, so I hope they know what they're talking about.
If we can keep our players from speeding on the streets of Athens in Clark County, Oconee County, and all that. You never broke the speed limit when you were in
I didn't
Clark
have a car.
County. That's right. You had a car, so you got to keep forgetting about that. You didn't have a car, so you couldn't speed.
I walked everywhere. Rode the bus.
Rode the bus and walked.
I didn't have to worry about that.
That was quite an experience going to Georgia back starting in '72, and you had to ride these buses all around campus. I'd never done anything quite like that. I'd taken school buses in Jacksonville, not here in Jesup, but in Jacksonville, but not buses like that where you got on these nice buses, nice and air conditioned and comfortable.
Nice bus,
yeah.
They got you around where you need to go. That's for sure.
Yes, sir. They got you around. Of course, if you didn't have to go over to across the bridge from North Campus to South Campus, you really didn't have to use one. But if you're going across that bridge there, usually you needed one.
You're allowed to talk on those buses.
Not
like the ones in Savannah.
Bob, I think y'all did a little more than just talking.
I swear.
You may not remember it, but I'm sure you and your buddies there that went to St. Patrick's Day a little bit more than just normal talking, or they wouldn't have said anything.
That cat stands for can't allow talking. That's what that stands for.
I'd love to have a video of that to see exactly what y'all were doing to get y'all's behinds thrown off one of the cat buses.
Talking NCAA basketball. The tournament was underway. March Madness.
After a day there at the parade and party, and I'm sure that y'all's voice levels were a little higher than normal.
We're doing what we're supposed to do. Take public transportation. Not supposed to drink and drive. That's what we're supposed to do.
Yeah, that's true. All right, Bob, anything else going on? We wrap up the Butch and Bob show this morning.
Getting ready for this football season. Like I said, they're practicing 5 days a week now, but they're practicing early in the morning, getting out of that heat. So we'll check in with Coach Jay Beauchamp, get his thoughts on the upcoming scrimmage. Friday, August 4th, did find out from Coach Shaw there will be a $10 admission price for that admission to get into Friday night's scrimmage. So
Friday week, not this Friday, but the following Friday scrimmage game.
12 days and counting.
Okay, well, Bob, you have a great day.
Okay.
All right. World famous Butch and Bob show here on WIFO 105.5 FM in Jesup has been brought to you by First Southern Bank, Vans Barbecue, Murphy Builder Supply, and O'Quinn & Associates.